Okay, we are back. Hey, everybody. Heroes Unleashed. I am your GM for tonight. And with us, we have Crimson Sage, who is conspicuously absent, Id, Patch, Seraph, and D, who is also not on camera. Alrighty then. Now, D hasn't been playing with us for a while, so I'm going to have to just drop him into one of the two groups. And I will drop him.
I'm just listening.
I'm not. You're not? All right, so he won't be joining us. Whatever.
Loser.
Punk. Simpleton. Does everybody remember where they were?
I was at the office.
You were at the GSTF. You were at your storage, your facility, and that the GSTF have been using as a makeshift location. They were in the midst of evacuating, and I don't know why I don't have any. Oh, I know that. I don't want to do that. That's where we get a little wonky. There we go. At the GSTF headquarters, we had Patch, who was concocting a harebrained cockamamie scheme to do the impossible. Trying to figure out whether or not it will work or not. We left it at that cliffhanger. Then we left. We had left Id. Theory, who's not here, decided to go see Uncharted. Whatever. I mean, couldn't go see it tomorrow. Piece of crap. And Id, and Sage. They were in the other world, other place, dealing with the denizens of the church, the dark church. I think I got everybody. And I'm sorry, Patch. No, Seraph. Excuse me. Freaking names. There's like a million names. Okay. So. And Seraph, they were in fact dealing with their own monstrous entity that had taken over that poor fat security guard supervisor who killed his subordinate. And you were with Dr. Savage, who also isn't here with us, and had enveloped him in your your swarm form to offer him a layer of protection until he was able to transform. No, I'm sorry. You covered up the creature until Dr. Savage transformed and dealt with it toot sweet. So that's where you were then. Okay. So we'll do that. I will do a loose Dr. Savage playthrough along with Theory. I don't like playing players' characters, but they're not here, so. Okay. So I'm going to start with Patch. So everyone had left. Everyone was evacuating the facility because Theory's sister, and I wrote her name down. Theory's sister. Theory's sister is having a stress-related episode, which is causing her to
literally
freak out
down.
and literally melt and potentially melt down everything around her. Now, the origins of said meltdown are not 100% clear, except she seemed to be in a fugue-like state state, not steak, a fugue-like state where she could. It seems as if she's having a waking nightmare, and that is where you are. You're right outside of her capsule, and the energy readings are spiking across the board. The time from now until potential critical mass, you estimate approximately 35 seconds.
So like I said before, I'm gonna open the case, and I'm gonna reach in and grab her, and I'm gonna use my ability to absorb energy, and I'm gonna take her energy from her, see if I could draw some from her.
Okay.
Just to stabilize her. At the same time, I'm gonna try and calm her, because somehow she's linked to my son, and I'm trying to. If I can calm her, I can calm him.
Is there an upper limit to that ability, or no?
No, I am.
There's no
once
ceiling.
Once I come in contact with it, I'll take I think a D4 on hit points, and after that I'm immune.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and roll that D4, because once you pop open that capsule, you're hit with this energy that you've never felt before. It feels like it's sizzling your skin, and this is where the D4 comes in.
Heroes. I want to make sure it's D4.
Sure.
Might be more.
Yeah, the amount of energy that's radiating off of her is immense. It nearly knocks you off your feet once you open that capsule, because it sort of pressurized with the amount of energy that was building. In the same way a bomb creates a pressure vacuum, and you just open the door.
Sorry. Still looking. I'll go with the D4 for now. It might be more, it might be less. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Might be. I become immune to the energy. So I took a hit point.
Yep. So
And
the sizzle comes from like your facial hair, as it's singed off of you. It causes you to wince and recoil. Just in that moment, hair from your arms, from the back of your hands, from your forearms, they crackle and crisp. Your clothing, that which isn't part of your designed equipment, that also just catches fire, and just it's so quick. It's like that magician's flash paper.
All right.
Where it just burns right off of you. And she tumbles forward to the ground, and she seems to be like fumbling around. She has no irises. She has, in the classic comic book style, where it looks like the whites, but everything on her is that swirling tempest of purple, of shades of purple as the energy is building up around her.
So I cradle her. I grab her. I cradle her. I try to soothe her, calm her.
She's surprisingly enough, she's shivering, and she's just like, "It's too much. It's too much. Please, no." She's reaching up to claw at her face, and as she's doing it, she's pulling. She seems to be pulling apart her skin, but it rapidly reforms as she's ripping into it, as she's digging into it.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is this then. So I'm gonna hold her hands, and I'm gonna bring her close to me, I bring her face close to mine, and I try to soothe her, and I tell her, listen, I need you to focus everything into this one hand, into this one hand. I'm gonna use the machinery to pinpoint where that satellite's overhead at.
Okay.
I'm gonna guide her hand with my hand. I'm gonna guide her hand to where, and I'm gonna tell her, I need you to focus everything, focus your very being into your hand, and push up.
Okay.
Through your hand.
The act of speaking makes it hard. Like the amount of energy she's pumping into you is greater than you've ever felt before. So it's sort of like when you it's sort of like when you're having an episode where you feel like something is squeezing your throat, and you get the words out, and you can see her. She lifts her hand and she starts to point it. She's like,
I guide her hand.
From that point, she lets out this primal scream, and a bolt of energy tears through the rafters, melts the girders that are the support girders around it, in one blinding flash as she shoots it straight into the sky. As she's doing that, it takes about 3 to 4 seconds of her just screaming, and there's a flash of white light that forces you to cover your eyes. And I'm moving away from the mic, like I can see this, but I'm imagining it as you're doing it. You're just turning away from it, and when you look, she's there. You can feel her, but all of the energy in her body is almost, not all of it, about 95% of that energy is gone from her body. You can your instrumentation is you're radiating more energy than she is at this moment.
All right.
How long can you hold on to the energy?
Until I switch to a different pattern.
Okay. So right now you're at a point where you understand that you are extraordinarily dangerous in terms of the amount of power that you've stored in your body.
All right.
It's pushing your ability to its limits. That's how much energy you're storing right now. And her energy reserves are minimal at most. Your equipment. In fact, the energy you're storing, you're registering what she's radiating, and it's very weak. It's in terms of biology, it's a faint pulse.
Is she okay? Is she unconscious?
She's unconscious.
She's unconscious?
Yeah, her skin is completely, it's not translucent, but it runs deep shades to light shades of purple and violet, and her skin has taken on a texture that's similar to like a grainy leather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her vitals, is she weak? Like she's just asleep.
She's definitively unconscious. She's not breathing, but that doesn't seem to be affecting her energy levels, her pulse. Let's just call it her pulse, her energy pulse.
All right. So
which is emulating sort of a heartbeat rhythm.
Okay. So I'm gonna check to see if I guided her proper when she fired it up. Did I hit that satellite?
You were tapped into the Hubble, yes?
Yep.
Okay. So you weren't able to see it as it happened, but the Hubble did record the energy striking the satellite. It didn't explode it. It looked like the energy as it was being shot into the air, as it was being shot into the sky towards the satellite. The machinery started to move and twist itself to where there was a portal that opened up at its bottom, at the bottom facing the Earth. And when it did, something came out that resembled a dish, but it had multiple layers to it. And once that beam hit it, it looked like it was absorbing all of that energy into the apparatus. And once the beam of energy finally finished from what she expended, the portal closed. Remember when I said it was black and smooth all the way around? It didn't resemble any sort of satellite that you know of, military or civilian. All these symbols and glyphs started to appear on the outer edge of that black material, and they immediately, there's some of them you recognize from your perusing of that book. Once it did, it starts to turn, and then this sphere of these tendrils of light, of that same purple energy, start to appear around it, like a sort of a cage of energy, but cylindrical, not cylindrical, but a sphere, and then it just collapses on itself and disappears.
Fuck. All right. I recorded it. That's good. Send that to Seraph. I have a copy. At that case, I'll put her gently back into her case. I close up the case, and I let go of the energy. I shoot it back up through the
You also
symbol.
shoot it through the ceiling. Okay. So,
Same spot.
I was just gonna say you're gonna be like, shit, blow up your own place, your own factory, your own warehouse. Excuse me. Okay. When you expend that energy, quantum energy is not the same as electricity, and letting go of that energy felt like a huge weight was lifted, like you can finally breathe again. It was just that much of a crush on you. Okay. So eventually the agents and Rivers and Brian, they find their way back. And it's like, so even Brian's just like, what the fuck just happened? What did you do? No, he didn't say it. He's just like, what the fuck just happened? And she's like, Dr. Acosta. And this is Rivers. She's like, are you all right?
Yeah, but if I don't call my wife in a second, I'm not going to be.
She said, where is the girl? Is she still alive?
She's fine. She's inside there. She's unconscious. I put her back in her device.
Even Brian's just like, how did you do that? He's a witch. Kill him.
Yo, so after all this shit, I just look at him like magic.
It's like he's like, oh, fuck off. Magic, really?
And I'm gonna call my wife.
He's like, fucking magic again with the magic. What the fuck? Okay. Once you finally, you're using your gauntlet, yes?
Yeah. It should still be on the same call, actually.
Okay. Now, hello, Ray. Are you there?
Yeah, man. Is the boy okay?
She's like, I don't know. He seems okay, but he's been saying all kinds of crazy stuff. I think he's possessed. So it's like that stupid movie you made me watch. What was it? The Exorcist. He's not doing. He's like he was doing it. The length of time that she gives you that he was doing it coincides with the expenditure of energy from when she shot into the satellite.
All right.
So maybe 15 to 20 seconds. She said she was scared to death because he was just floating there and talking, and then all of a sudden he screamed. He's like, I've never heard him scream like that before, and I have beaten him so many times. No, I'm just kidding. She doesn't say that. No.
I would not believe it.
Yeah. He was like, I've never heard that before. It's just like, Ray, is he gonna be okay? What's going on?
It's like, do you remember what he said?
It's like, no, he was talking crazy. It didn't even sound like him. It sounded like a monster. It was his voice was it wasn't him. It was some I never want to hear that again.
So I was in there thinking, like, who's in the house with you? Everyone's in the house, right?
This is the boys are in the other room.
Where the girls?
Your oldest went out with a friend, and the youngest was sleeping, but she's now with her in the room crying. She didn't record it on her phone or anything like that. She was just too panicky. She was so concerned about what was going on that's not something that came to mind.
Right. I'm just wondering if one of the other bucketheads would have did it. And his brother is like weird that way.
Well, he's equally freaked out. He just didn't understand what was going on, and he's like, Dad. He grabs a phone because you're on like a Skype call, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like, Dad, that was so awesome. So he's just like, Dad, that was so awesome. You should have seen him. He was talking like he goes into this anime. He's just like, you remember that Demon Train? He was talking like one of those guys, except he was like, and then Mom was screaming, and then what was your youngest name?
The youngest? They're twins.
No.
One's Reyes and one's Matt. My youngest daughter?
Yeah.
Brianna.
He's like, and then Brianna was screaming, and then I started screaming. I thought they were cheering. I didn't know. I didn't see their faces, and then Mom, she hit me in the head. So, why don't I have powers?
It's like, I don't know. It's not your turn yet.
He's like, wait a minute. I'm going to get powers?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, you can only see the top of his head and his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get powers? Oh, that is so cool. Ow! All right, I got to go. It's like, what did she's just like, are you seriously telling him he's going to get powers? This is not something that I want in my house, right?
It's like it's just to calm him down. Apparently,
like,
it's not working.
That's going to calm him down? You're across the country. I have to deal with. These are my supervillains.
So I explained to her the situation with the girl. Mm-hmm. I explained to her carefully the situation with the girl. I tell her about the book. I regretfully tell her about the house.
The house part, you could see it in her face that she's just trying to gloss that part over, except that whole eye closing, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Please go on. Let's talk about your day.
So yeah, that's I explained to her about the satellite overhead. I explained everything to her. I give her everything up to this point.
Okay.
Everything up to this point.
A lot of that stuff is she doesn't have any real expertise in it, but it just seems this seems too much. And somehow our son, Ray, our son's involved in that. How is that even a thing?
I don't know. It's maybe because of the link between me. I don't know.
And what about our other son?
Him? I truly don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't. He didn't see nothing that day. Only Ray.
No, she's talking about Seraph.
Seraph? Oh, him? He's doing all right.
What about our other son?
So he's fine right now. I'm feeding him all the information. No, he's not with me at the moment. He's at a location doing that part of that investigation.
Are you sure that's the right thing for him to be doing right now?
He's safer there than he is right here, and he's helping. He's matured a lot since we last talked to him.
I really hope so. He's just watch him. I watch after him. We have a lot. We have a family to take care of, Ray. I can't have you running around trying to be Superman right now.
I understand.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check his vitals and keep an eye on him. I don't even know if I should take him to an emergency room.
I don't think they'll be able to do anything for him anyway. I think he'll be alright for now. I'm gonna try and figure this out.
I need for you to figure this out. He's gonna need help.
All right.
All right. Just
I'll tell Sir I have to call you when you get a chance when he's available.
Okay. Since the boys would love to hear from him. Just be safe, okay?
I will.
And she hangs up the phone.
Alright.
Okay. What if anything are you doing?
At this point, I sent the Seraph the information on the footage. I sent him the footage.
Okay.
I call him and ask him to see if he got it and what's the situation right now. At the same time, I'm transmitting the information that I got from the dish, from the Hubble to Rivers and the crew here.
Okay. So, I mean, one of the things before I switch off to the other group, I'm gonna go to the bigger group last, and I'm gonna go to Seraph next. One of the things that Rivers noticed, she says this seems all too coincidental. Like how it's like they were waiting for it.
It's like I think they were. This is not a coincidence at all. I think they expected this to happen. Not in this way, but they expected it to happen one way or another.
So, and even Brian is like, so what you're saying is that we're playing even further into this diabolical schemes and whatever is happening hands. Yeah.
Unfortunately for now, it seems that way.
Son of a bitch.
And I need to make a bigger Faraday cage because I really truly intend to open up this book and read it. I'm just not doing it right now because there's some kind of giant alien turtle running around looking for it.
Whoa. Squeeze me?
So I show him the footage of Gamera, who just wrecked my fucking block.
He says, oh, fuck off. You mean this is real?
Yeah, that's real. And it tore up my freaking block. It chased me when I took the book out of my little case. And yeah.
So is Godzilla gonna show up next?
I hope so because Godzilla would teach Gamera a lesson. Otherwise, we gotta wait for Mothra or Rodan.
Oh. It's like, oh, I need to drink.
Tell him the cognac's in the bottom of the table.
Nope. 10 years clean and sober. Can't do it. Want to, but can't.
Then I hand him a pack of gum.
He just takes the whole pack and starts opening it. He opens like 3 right off the rip. Just okay. We need to put our heads together and figure out some kaiju shit. We got kaijus, space aliens. It's not aliens, is it?
I don't know. I mean, they're not from this planet or this country, so they're alien in one fashion or another.
Wait a minute. So, okay, all right.
I mean, semantics.
Yeah, I need to go sit down. Okay, Seraph. After you and Dr. Savage, I mean, he transforms back into a human self. He's like, what the fuck was that? He's healing, but he was hurt. See, that thing tore into me like nobody's business. It's like that shouldn't happen.
do not know what that was, Dr. Savage. But it was impeding progress. There is obviously something over there.
So, in that moment, he's just like, "Oh, that can't be good." You both turn, and there's where that spot was, that circle that you saw from the overhead. You can see at the top of a cylinder, what looks to be a cylinder of light particles. They're in that same violet that Theory's sister was comprised of. You can see them; they're shimmering in the air and moving in a counterclockwise fashion. Your sensors don't register anything. It's just your optics. In maybe about 30 nanoseconds, then you start registering faint traces of quantum energy, and it starts to build. It's building as the flecks of that quantum light is starting to swirl even faster.
Dr. Savage, I think you should leave this area.
So he's like, "Yeah, if I'm talking like me, yeah, you think?" And then he just like opens the door, runs out. The other guard is like, "What the fuck happened?" He has his gun out. He's ducked behind behind your van. And what was that? What was that fucking noise?
I'm in swarm form. I immediately go back to swarm form.
He's like, he runs out in a giant swarm of what looks like fucking black flies behind him. He's like, ah! He turns and he starts running. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He starts running in the opposite direction towards the other hangars, the other warehouses where the entrance is.
And I'm going to guess at this point I get Dad's message.
Yes.
And data.
Yes.
And is it coinciding with what I just saw happening inside that? Dad, there is something happening here.
What's going on?
Dr. Savage and I approached the building where Morgan was supposedly held, but I could not find him. I did, however, find more of that strange radiation, that electromagnetic radiation. I could not enter the area Dr. Savage was about to, but we were attacked. One of the humans transformed into a creature.
A creature? One of the creatures we've been fighting?
I literally sent you the footage of what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those.
It looked like something out of a John Carpenter movie.
The frick?
I removed it from existence.
Are you okay?
I am fine, Dad. I am only slightly hurt. Slightly damaged.
You need me to bring you anything?
No, I will be fine, but I have to get out of here quickly. I am concerned that the AI might be aware of my presence at this time. I do not know what to expect. Have you heard from the others?
No, I haven't heard from the others. When you have an opportunity, though, call your mother, because she's going through some stuff. Your little brother seems to be linked to Mr. I can't do alchemy right, sister. What's his name?
Theory the philosopher, Dr. Patel.
Dr. Patel.
Gavi Patel, yeah.
And his sister is named, what's his sister's name? I actually have it written here somewhere. I took the time to write it down.
I'd be honest, I didn't really catch it. Not even my character really caught it. So, all he kept saying was my sister. So, that picture was another chick with a Quickie Mark outfit carrying a clipboard.
Gabby.
No, Abby, yeah.
Gabby, yes, Gabby Patel.
No, so yeah, she somehow was linked to my son somehow. Once I was able to free her some of her energy. Ray was also a little better after that too. Right now he's sleeping, and so is she. So as you can see from the footage, some of those symbols were in the book that I read. I'm gonna have to make a bigger Faraday cage to hide the signature of the book, so I can take a look inside. Because as you can see from the other footage, we don't have the house anymore because they got torn up by a giant girl.
I understand that. So I look at well, I'm moving around, but is I guess Dr. Savage is getting back in his vehicle and moving on?
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, okay. And I am hovering over the waters because what I am doing is watching the warehouse, Dad. I have not seen the others. I am waiting in the vicinity unless you need me.
From the inside, there's a spike in electrical current. You can your optical sensors register like these flashes of light. They're bright violet. It's mostly white, but it's interlaced with violet energy. You can hear it. The energy that it's producing is about half the amount that a bolt of lightning would produce in 1 to 2 split seconds. So and then it's gone.
See.
Now that the electromagnetic resonance is gone from the area.
Oh, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that changes things. I'm going to go back in then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you go back in, right where that circle is, there's an outline of the floor has been burned in a perfect circle. You know, it has scorch marks, which is what I was using. Words I was looking for. The scorch. It's the scorch marks form a perfect circle, and interlaced in that circle, you can barely make out. You're able to piece together some of those symbols that you've seen before. They're not complete, but it comprises that where those scorch marks were.
I will record what I see and send the imagery back to Dad and to the GSTF mainframe.
Okay.
So that it is available for Brian and DA Rivera's, AD Rivers, yeah, and whoever else they need to see it. And I also quickly inquire on the health of the witch.
She's
basically I just check with the computer systems where she's at.
Right. They have her on a heart monitor at this point because her body seemed to be shutting down. She was on the verge of organ failure. But after the timing was such that the timestamps of her vitals were that once all of the events of that 30 to 40 seconds had concluded, her vitals started to rebound.
And where does that put us on the countdown timer that we had going? We've passed that mark?
That elapsed about within that period of time. That elapsed. It almost coincided to about a minute. So the predictive model for that timing was off by about a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm. I updated accordingly.
Okay.
And when is the next? When is the next event?
The next event is approximately 2 weeks from now, and it's going to occur at 2:35 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay. While I am out there over the water, basically out there over the ocean, I will switch to. I'm actually in the warehouse right now, so I need to just record everything I can in this warehouse. I go back to the area. No, it was building up in the entire warehouse, and that whole signature is gone now.
No. I'm talking about in this area. The signature from the warehouse is still that there's still a small resonance of electromagnetic interference, but not enough to cause you to discorporate.
Okay. So I check the door I checked before.
Mm-hmm.
Still the same. Still that needle mechanism.
Correct.
And when I go through it in my swarm form, just go under the door or whatever, what do I see on the other side?
It's virtually identical to what you saw the last time. There's a little bit more activity. There are people that are working. It's almost as if the people that are in this space are the best way to describe it is they are operating in a state that resembles consciousness. You can their vitals, the vitals of virtually all in this space, and there are a half dozen that are meandering about, suggest that they're in a REM-like state, but they're also conscious. It's sort of conflicting. Their brains are operating in a REM-like state, but they are fully awake and having and talking and having conversations, but they're doing things in spaces like they're reaching down for items that aren't there and lifting them as if they're lifting heavy objects. Like their muscles are twitching and they're similar to the way that your body would brace for a heavy load when you're lifting it.
Right.
So yeah.
I switched to UV.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there is a sort of an aura that's emanating from them. It's similar in that violet color from inside the security office, and it's also similar in hue, which is what I meant to say, not color, in hue to Gavi's sister.
Dad, are you seeing this?
Yeah.
I do not understand.
It seems like they were actually waiting for us to do what we did. They somehow collected the energy.
Yes, but Dad, they are moving items. They are physically moving items. And they are in a REM state, Dad. These people are asleep and not asleep at the same time.
Maybe this is a kind of possession or something? In a sleepwalk state?
Dad, they are actually physically working. I can see it in their vitals. I can see it in how their bodies are moving. The tension of their muscles. The way they breathe. As any human would while working, doing labor.
We can't.
Let me see. I said I did UV. Lou, what am I hearing?
They're talking, but their words are as if they were like speaking through a yawn. It's like, yeah, I gotta get this. I gotta. Yeah.
Yeah, they sound like they're sleepwalking. They're performing tasks without realizing they're performing them.
There are.
I wonder what happened if we would wake up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Dad, do you want me to wake one of them?
Yeah, see if you can wake up one of them. With a sound or something. Don't get too close.
Alright. Lou?
Mm-hmm.
I will make a buzzing sound. Specific to a frequency range that would be annoying.
Okay.
And I play that in increasing volume while near one person, like about 5 feet away.
Okay. Doing that freezes all 6 of them. The one that you're doing it near, once he turns and faces your direction, his eyes are missing from his skull, and it's like it's almost as if they were scooped out of his head, and he turns. He's like, the others, they turn, and the thing about it was your optics registered that they had eyeballs, but once they heard that sound, and when they turned, there was a sudden burst of that radiation that you guys have been able to measure, and then they turned and they're looking.
All right. Lou, according to bioscans, am I causing them distress?
That's an assumption that I will allow you to make. You can make that assumption. There's no way to know for sure. It's just
okay.
The timing of it would suggest yes.
All right. I gradually lower the volume on that and observe what they do.
The one that's standing next to you is he's just like you can see he's starting to spasm, like his muscles are starting to spasm as he's frozen in place. And the other ones are frozen in place, and they're starting to twitch. As they start to twitch, you can see they're like what was that movie where that Benicio del Toro werewolf movie where their fingers start to move and you can hear the bones start to crunch and they're transforming, similar to the first creatures from the hospital.
Dad?
Yeah.
There are more creatures forming here. I do not think they are human anymore.
I don't think so either. Get out of there. I'll find the others.
You said there are 6 of them, right, Lou?
Correct.
At the entrance to the place, I move backwards towards the entrance door, and I take solid form.
Okay. Why am I rolling? Anyway, why am I rolling perception? Now, when you take solid form, one, it's just, holy shit! I just bonked myself.
Hey, who's running?
Yeah. What the fuck am I doing? The one that was that was the first one that you encountered. The other 5 are further inside the space. Once his head cocks to a point where he just and turns and sees you, and he's like. Takes a loping charge. Their upper extremities become more distended than their lowers, so they more resemble like an ape as they run towards you on their hands. So he's like.
All right. And what's the closing distance?
He'll close the distance within 10 seconds.
Dad, I cannot save them. Laser cannon to the head.
Okay, roll 20.
What is that bonus? That's it? Yes, that's it. Okay. Right. This one's not made for combat.
Well, you got proficiency with it. You get +3 if you're aiming. And
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
heavy.
and you got mechanical link, which gives you another +1 or 2. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. Powers. Mechanical link. +2 to
Give me a
strength.
second. I should have been looking at this already before I called that out.
You get +2 for mechanical link, and +3 to aim. I don't know if you got a combat computer now.
I do have heavy. No, I don't have a computer. I really did not make Seraph with combat in mind. Alright. +4. Okay.
Okay. One,
That definitely hit the core shot.
yeah, you definitely did. And damage is not going to be an issue here because once you hit it, he stops immediately. And he's like, the shot goes through him, and there's a gaping hole that just is you know like you can see the white hot from the inside of the hole from where your laser hit, and then it just starts spreading to the point where he turns into what is it like a Buffy the Vampire like dust. Like,
Wow.
Okay then. And what are the other 5 doing?
the other ones. Once he starts screaming, it's almost as if they're all linked. They start screaming. They don't turn to dust, but then those just start running in all directions to the point where a couple you can hear them just smash through the walls. The other one is running towards the dock. He smashes through the wall and runs out. Then so they're essentially scattering.
I will, at this point, tap into this place's... No, I just pull the fire alarm. I just activate the fire alarm.
Okay.
And are the fire alarms on this location, this tract of land, are they linked or is it one system
It's
per
one
location?
system per location, but
But are they remotely accessible?
yes.
And I will trigger them all.
Okay.
Yep,
Triggering
that's
them
the
all.
annoying sound.
That's great. And all you hear is screaming from outside. You're like,
And then I'm going outside. I'm gonna have to hunt these things down one by one because I cannot just run amok.
okay. All right. Now we're gonna come to Id and Sage and Theory. Sage, you had grabbed the basin with the material that was in it, correct? Am I correct? Are you muted?
I put it into the satchel,
Yes. Okay.
and I made my Dragon Ball seats
Right.
right to the diamond piece, of which I'm using the last of the juice.
To light up the area. Yeah. So we.
As I do that flash, I'm grabbing Theory, and I'm making my way towards the door.
Okay.
Sure, just leave me.
I was just gonna say.
Not inside.
Where is Id in all this? He does this in such a rapid succession. It feels like a video game, but he just moves so quickly. By the time he comes back, and the flash of light, you're like, holy shit, that is Baka power times 10.
I gotta learn how to do that.
What was it? No. He Kaioken Baka. Bakayoken.
The would have been running away, bitch.
He did Bakayoken.
Hey, at least he came back.
Anyway. So he zips by you. He's like, let's go. Let's go, goddammit.
No.
Go ahead.
Just
You gotta tell me
walk
to.
outside the doors.
Sure.
All right?
Hmm?
Egg, help me with these doors. And I'm starting to close them.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how big are these doors?
Let's see. can't remember how high the arch was. So I'm going to say they were about 20 feet high. So the doors themselves are very heavy to accommodate that height. What's your strength? And what's its strength?
40.
What's your strength, Id?
My strength is 14.
I will be generous with Mr. Patel's strength.
Sorry, 30 is my strength.
His strength is 132.
Nice. Yeah, he wishes. Okay. So with a significant effort, you are able to shut the doors. As you do, once you shut them, let's just for dramatic effect. Once as you're shutting them, there is a crackle of energy, a crackle of what sounds like like one of those giant Tesla and those Tesla ball Faraday cages where you and that same white and purple light is starting to emanate from that slit as you're closing the doors.
Okay, as we close the door, what I was going to ask Fury to do, can you do the diamond shape again on these doors?
Wait, I don't understand. What do you mean? Oh,
want
change the
him to
doors
create that-
to diamond?
Yeah, change the diamond again.
Okay, and that's something that he can do. So he's
Okay.
just like, I don't know why you want me to do this, but okay.
Oh, and I'm going to tell them that as he's doing, I'm going to tell everybody to duck.
So once he does that, I need you all to roll a save. What's the save for a blinding flash? Is it a standard
Yeah.
save versus?
I figured as much because that's exactly what I was going to do, but on the outside.
Okay.
So what was the save I'm rolling?
I believe it's a 12,
Alright,
but it's not magical, so you can't apply a magical bonus.
Just roll that d20.
But you could use your dexterity, though.
I will allow it.
All right, so I make it. I make it on the nose with a 12.
Okay.
I can use my dexterity.
To shut
yeah.
to shut your eyes. We'll just say that.
Or to look away. Well, wouldn't be able to duck me, and I'm telling them to duck anyway? It would actually be me that would want to be caught.
Yeah, but it's almost instantaneous, so it's not that way. It's not where ducking will matter.
And it's being refracted through a diamond.
Correct.
So, fun times.
I guess I didn't make it.
Okay.
Like, huh?
You blind.
My eyes!
He's like, my eyes!
You don't have a +2 to dodge, dude?
He's not that kind of psychic.
I am that kind of psychic for this,
And,
but like my
and Dr.
it's,
Patel's like, what the fuck? Ah! Oh, God. Oh, my God. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that.
Okay.
It's not right.
No more Dunkin' Donuts for you, Lou.
I have a question for you. Can I, since I didn't get affected by the blinding,
no.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Say again.
because I wasn't expecting it, that effect from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of that, and let's say use a mirror to redirect that flash to one of the.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No. Absolutely not.
Why not?
No, you're not that fast. Now, you were fast enough to avoid being splash blinded, but your companions were not. So they're like, oh.
All right, so I pulled them away from the door. Both of them.
If Eric was here, he would be like, you motherfucker. He probably wouldn't have done it, but he's not here, so this is what he gets. He's blind.
Damn.
You guys are going to be blinded for
3 years.
I don't like that.
100
It's permanent.
million years.
Now I'm gonna have to learn to be that kind of psychic.
Ah.
Oh, no.
For 4 minutes, which can potentially be an eternity. Now,
It is for me.
once you're done with that, once you're done with that bright idea, the inside of that cathedral is that light, that first flash is followed by a steady pulse of that purple light. Like it's almost as if you're able to cover your eyes for that initial burst, but once you get used to it, once you're done with that burst, and your friends are now fucking blinded, you're the only one that isn't, and you pull your arm away, you're able to look up above and below the light streaming to see that purple energy, that purple light. It's intense because it's being refracted through the diamond. So you cannot see in. You see no detail inside the
It's just
cathedral.
a big flashlight.
Yes,
kind of.
essentially. It's just streaming out into the rest of the space towards where those doors were. And your perception, I'll give you this without even needing to roll. You're just like, oh shit, because being aware of your environment, everything was dark until now. You're essentially right in the middle of a giant spotlight with your friends like, ah, ah.
So we're in the middle of this huge spotlight.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, oh shit.
Even though we're outside the cathedral?
Dude, you turned a portion of the door to diamond. The light came from inside out. Please, let's not pretend like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, sir. Sir?
No, I don't.
Uh-huh. Now all of a sudden he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nope. No clue.
No hablo inglés.
Nope.
Okay. What you do also notice is somehow in that light that's refracting, it has a luminescence that extends beyond it, and on the outer edges of it you can see these swirling figures moving around. See at least 4.
Those are the stupid specters. Fuck you. All right. Okay. With all this luminescence, if this light
Remember, it's
shine-
coming from the cathedral straight across. Not it's going left to right, not north to south. North to south is where the darkness extended to a depth that you couldn't measure without actually plumbing it, without actually going towards it.
All right. So since the light is coming out as a pulse, this I'm going to use the mirror and refract it
Okay.
and see how it goes.
Okay. It goes as far as the light will illuminate, and then it continues.
Wow. Yeah. Shine it towards one of the doors.
Okay.
See if it has any effect.
When you do, it does actually. When you shine it on one of the door, when you shine it on,
I'll shine it on the first door.
You shine it on the first door. It's like traces of the light is just being soaked up into these lines. These. You recognize them as runic because they're illuminated. They weren't before because of the pitch blackness. You weren't able to see them. Even with your own artificial light, you couldn't. They wouldn't be visible to your naked eye. But now they are.
Thanks, Crimson.
And there's nothing else except those doors, the cathedral, and the graveyard.
I mean, you can go north. South is where you came from. That's the doorway, the doorway that you entered into the space. So south would be to your right, north would be to your left, and east would be straight ahead.
Refracted light towards where we came from.
You don't have that angle. You would have to go you would have to go down into the middle and further away, and to the right. Well, and you would have to. All right, so you would have to go down the stairs. Now, here's where it gets a little tough. Because of the height of the stairway, once you get to the bottom of the stairway, you don't have enough height to use to refract a mirror in any other direction. You can do it from where you're standing because you're in the direct path of that light. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over towards down the steps, and then I should be able to pull myself on the side up high enough so I can then refract
On
the
the
light
side of what?
on the side of the steps. If it's that tall, I should be able to push myself up along the side.
No, if you're going downstairs, there's no going. You'd have to go back up the stairs in order to do that. There's no railing or
No,
anything.
on the side of the no, but on the side of the steps, they just dug into the wall.
Yeah, they're stone. They're stone steps that lead up to the base of the cathedral, to the doorway to the cathedral.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no side to the. There's no outside to those steps.
It's a cone. So if you're walking, it's the same way that you would. It would be the same as in any other church. You walk out the door, and there's steps at an angle. There's like a 30-degree angle to get to. In this case, would be the street. So yeah.
So what I'm going to do then is I'll climb up along the side, right, the wall, right, so I can get the angle I need in order to shine back to where we came from.
Okay, I'm having some trouble here understanding what you're talking about.
Because you're saying they're a cone, right? They're long.
Any
they're
church,
wide.
Hey,
very
hey,
many,
hold on a second.
any church that
Hey,
you go to, there's steps leading up to it. There's
Adolfo, you know,
the wall
Adolfo,
to the
you know
left
that-
and to the right of the doors. That's it. There are no
Hey,
other
Adolfo.
walls.
Adolfo.
So that's what I'm saying. If the steps are made in such a way where they're just a cone leading up to the narrowness of where the doors are at, then they're elevated. There's got to be a side to them on the outside, unless they're carved into the wall. And if they're carved into the mountain wall or whatever it is, then there's going to be a wall on the outside,
Hold on.
which I can climb up on.
Hold on. So,
Um,
I'm not sure that we're.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Yeah.
If I'm picturing what you're describing, Lou,
Yeah.
the church on University in Fordham.
Okay.
If that's the case, there's still the side to the steps.
No, there is no side to those steps.
Yes, there is a side to the steps.
Yeah, but there's nothing to hold on to
Yeah.
that would put you directly in front of the doors.
Yeah. The only wall exists is the cathedral itself. The steps going down are stone. There is no other wall.
It's a semicircular staircase that from all
In all directions.
like-
Yes.
basically 180 degrees of stairs that lead up to the front of the building.
Correct.
And they're enclosing semicircles essentially. So there is nothing to hold on to
Correct.
to reflect light. I can picture it in my head. It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing physically. You have to you can't even dangle from the steeple and try and do it.
No.
Because you don't have the right angle.
I know how I can have the right angle. I can climb up one of the pillars, and with the line and
Wait,
water,
what pillar?
there should be some type of ornate construct outside the doors.
Yeah, I get it. Here's what I'm going to end your fascination with climbing. You don't have an angle to bend that light the way you need it to get to the front door. You just don't.
Actually, I can get.
You have an angle to. All right, hold on for a second. Let me zen myself into this.
I understand what you're getting at. This is the reason why I'm saying I'm going to climb up one of the sides along the doorway, and I'm going to use my hook and line to shoot across to the other side. So when I go across, at the moment I have to go, I can shine it towards the direction where I came back from.
All right, that's something that you can do. What were you had spatial awareness, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there a specific range for that?
Whatever I could see at the moment. So at that moment, I recall
So anything within your line of sight.
Anything within my line of sight.
All right. So you do your Batman trick, and it's literally because of the speed that you're moving in. The only reason that you're even able to get anything is because of your spatial awareness, because it would be so quick that you would be swinging from left to right to try to angle the light and all that. That's good. I will give you all of that. When in that split second, when you shine the light towards the entrance that you came in, that door does also have that similar. It burned that pattern into your head. It's similar, but it's a different pattern, but it's similar in effect to the first door that the light was shined to. That makes sense? Are you picturing what I'm saying?
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now that I saw that, climb down, grab these two guys, all right? And I'm going to let them know, listen, we're getting out of here. All right? I will guide you back towards where we came from. And we're leaving this place. I hope. That's what I say to myself.
Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell Id that your danger sense is like boom, boom.
Yeah, it's been going off this entire time.
Yeah. Your danger sense is. Okay, so walk me through the entirety of your action. You know why I'm looking at my screen. I should be looking over here. So walk me through everything that you're doing.
All right. So I'm having these guys hold on to me so that way I can walk them back to what the door is. Now, if the door is anything similar to what the other 9 were, then this thing is going to be triggered by blood. Again, pricked again. That's the part I don't like. However, I'm going to let them know exactly what I'm doing. And listen, I think that if I can do the same thing I did with that other door, we might be able to make it back to our space. I don't think we're back. I don't think we're in the space we think we're in.
I mean, obviously, Theory is just like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, we already know that. You opened a door into another orange tree dimension.
But I think we managed to cross over into one of those doors.
You mean getting here?
Yes.
Again, duh. I can't see. What are we doing?
Well, I'm about to do the same thing I did with that red door to the door that we came through.
I'm not turning another door to diamond. That's not happening.
No. I'm hoping that with the effect, we may be able to open the door and get the fuck out of this trap for all intents and purposes. At least while that light is on, because I can definitely confirm 6 specters.
He's like, excuse me? Because that is something that he would say. Excuse me? Did I hear you right?
Yes, you heard me right. There are 6 specters ready and just itching to get at us.
So then let's get the fuck out of here.
I second that.
Okay. So
motion passes.
I'll take the hit. I go to the knob or whatever it is that opens it.
Mm-hmm.
And
You can when as soon as your hand starts to go, you can see it's just like just a little newbie noob.
And quickly put Theory's hand.
He's like, oh, god damn it, you son of a bitch!
Nah,
You mother bitch!
You mother bitch.
So I turn the handle.
All right.
Fuck your face.
Fuck your face. Okay, that's another hit point. So you just like,
Yes, I know. I'm -1 again.
oh my god, this hurts.
That actually hurts.
So you turn that, and once you open it, there's a light. That's like, and that familiar ocean spray stink smell that you just like. Ah, yes. Now, Seraph.
Right into the walkway of a fucking mutant. Because I know that's what you're gonna do.
So, Seraph,
I know that.
as you're moving yourself out of this space to go on the hunt, another spike of energy, of a similar quantum energy. It's a quantum-based energy signature, and just spikes. It's similar to the energy from the security office. It stops you because it's because of a massive amount of energy that was spiking in that space. You get similar. You get the bio readings of Sage, Dr. Patel, and Id. They just appeared in that space. Now once you walk through the door, and you're on the weird.
Yeah, you're back.
And I'm back. It's similar to in visual styling to the release of the Berserkers from Nightbreed, when people are just
Nice.
they're just going in all directions, causing all kinds of havoc. And you can see them as they're now exiting the structure in the same manner that you were exiting.
All right, so my first concern is to get these two out of here. Once I manage to get them back outside the fences with all the ruckus, it should be pretty easy.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're closing the door behind you, because you did not say it, and I would be that kind of guy to say, well, you ran through the door, but you didn't say anything about closing it.
Actually, I did.
Okay,
Why
Just to be honest, my concern is to get these two to stay.
and I'm happy that you're very honest. So,
no, I'm not.
Well, you can say something because you know about.
nope, he does not, and that's the thing. He's blind. So his concern is
but
just
hold on.
he
The
is
reason
just
I
as
say I can
concerned
see-
about
he can say
escape.
something-
Hold on
The
for a
reason
second.
I say he can say something is because he knows I opened the door.
Right, but his
I grab on his arm.
I'm not. That's not going to happen in this instance. I'm sorry. Everyone's concern is escape, is egress.
Damn.
Okay. So that's what you see, Seraph, as they come through the door.
I try.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here, and then we're going to pick it up the next time we play. We will work on our Call of Cthulhu game that's coming up. I'm excited for that. We're going to have one more player who will be joining us in addition to Id, and then we will we'll take it from there. So for Sage, Id, Patch, Seraph, and Theory, who isn't here, unfortunately, and Dr. Savage, who also isn't here, unfortunately, I am the GM, and we will bid you adieu. Adieu? Adieu.
Oh, it's in your mouth. Mouth.
Ah.